On September 18, 1906, the sky suddenly split open, creating massive spatial rifts that shocked everyone on Earth. From these rifts, terrifying beasts began pouring out. The beasts rampaged across cities, tearing through buildings and attacking helpless civilians. Global military forces responded, launching full-scale assaults to stop the invasion. After months of brutal fighting, they managed to push the beasts back. However, the spatial rifts continued to exist, and new waves of monsters kept emerging, ensuring the threat never truly disappeared. To uncover the mystery behind the rifts, humanity deployed suicide squads into the unknown void. Their mission was to explore and gather any possible information from inside. Upon entering, the squads discovered an endless, alien world on the other side. In order to stop the beasts from invading further, they realized they had to take the battle directly to the rift's origin. Global military forces united and began constructing fortified bases within the rifts. From these strongholds, they could intercept and eliminate the beasts before they reached Earth. This marked the beginning of a new era for humanity. But peace was short-lived. On March 6, 1907, a second rift opened in the sky. Just 2 months later, on May 7th, a third rift followed, signaling that the threat was far from over. Over the next 100 years, more spatial rifts emerged across the planet. Their numbers steadily increased, and their appearances became more frequent, eventually spreading to every corner of the globe. Each rift was linked to a different race of beasts, each more dangerous than the last. Scientists began calling the dimension beyond the rifts the battlefield of myriad races. At the same time, Earth's spiritual energy started recovering. Humans began awakening special powers and martial abilities. Conventional firearms slowly lost effectiveness, while superhumans rose as the dominant force on the battlefield. In the present day, school bells rang across the city. In class, a student scolded a student for not paying attention, warning that poor cultural scores could prevent him from entering Marshall University. Meanwhile, other students whispered and joked, envious that Su-bai got to sit next to the beautiful and admired Lin Yanran. Lin Yanran, calm and focused, glanced at her book. She reminded everyone that graduation was approaching and asked Su-bai whether he planned to attend the academy or Marshall University. Still hiding behind his book, Su-bai responded with indifference. He genuinely didn't seem to know which path to choose. He questioned the value of subjects like foreign languages or advanced math during such unstable times. With average grades and no special abilities, he felt that Marshall University was out of reach, especially since his family couldn't afford the necessary supplements. He wondered aloud, where should he go? Despite arriving in this new world, he hadn't awakened any unique power or system, which made him doubt whether he had truly crossed over. Lin Yanran gently interrupted his thoughts. Looking directly at him, she invited Su-bai to join her at the academy. She assured Su-bai that she had a way to help him get admitted directly. Suddenly, a system window appeared in front of Su-bai, revealing a full status screen. Shocked, he reacted loudly, prompting Yanran to quickly hush him. He stared at the glowing window filled with information about his stats, abilities, and a beast tamer system. The system listed evolution potential, taming capabilities, and crisis prompts. While Yanran worried about his behavior, Su-bai realized she couldn't see the system interface. It was visible only to him. He reassured Lin Yanran that he was fine, brushing off the incident calmly. Several students erupted in outrage, yelling at Su-bai not to touch her. Blinded by jealousy, the student charged at Su-bai, shouting that he would teach him a lesson for his so-called disrespect. Just as the situation escalated, a teacher arrived, demanding everyone to settle down. She announced that Jiangsu Marshall University had just released an update on their website. She revealed that, starting with their year, superhumans would be exempt from cultural exams and could directly enroll in Jiangsu Marshall University, an opportunity many students dreamed of. In addition, students possessing a martial artist's physique would have their cultural score requirements reduced by half, making it easier for more to qualify. The class erupted with excitement. Some cheered at the relaxed criteria, while others expressed envy. The teacher announced that any students who had awakened abilities or possessed a martial foundation should report to her office for registration. Hearing this, Su-bai realized that his newly awakened system meant he could now enter Marshall University without taking exams. Yanran surprised that he was seriously considering the option. Su-bai reflected on the ongoing war between humans and the myriad races. The recent reforms at Yangzhou Martial University suggested that the situation was worsening and the region was growing more unstable. After the school, Su-bai decided to enroll in the university. With the system finally awakened, he vowed to protect his family and viewed the military-supported martial institutions as the quickest path to gaining power. Now armed with beast tamer abilities, Su-bai set his sights on Martial University. He knew that having a contracted beast would allow him to bypass exams and enroll directly. Determined to succeed, Su-bai reminded himself of his goal: enter Martial University, no matter what. He hoped the money he had saved would be enough to get started. He arrived at a beast facility, expecting the system to automatically guide him to a suitable creature. However, nothing triggered, leaving him puzzled as he approached the receptionist. Su-bai introduced himself as a beast tamer and asked what beasts were available. The receptionist smiled and directed him to look at the selection nearby. Su-bai examined an ordinary beast, but with nether cat blood. It had potential to evolve into a silver-level creature, though the price was shockingly high. Next, he noticed a fierce 4-eared dog, which possessed the bloodline of a 6-eared wolf. As he continued browsing, the prices only became more outrageous: 56,000 yen, 90,000 yen, well beyond his savings. The options were impressive, but all financially out of reach. The receptionist, noticing his silence, asked which beast had caught his eye. But when she looked again, Su-bai had vanished, leaving her wondering where he had gone. Frustrated by the outrageous prices at the beast shop, Su-bai walked back through the alley, questioning why his system hadn't reacted. He returned home, still puzzled. As he stepped inside and greeted the empty room, his system finally activated. To his surprise, the system identified a compatible creature inside his home, a small turtle resting in a tank. Staring in disbelief, he realized the system had selected his father's pet tortoise as the potential contracted beast. He stared at the tiny turtle in disbelief. He couldn't believe this was his first tamed beast. It looked weak and unimpressive. He wondered how such a small creature could be of any use. Still, Su-bai acknowledged he didn't have the resources to tame anything stronger at the moment. He decided to go through with the process and hoped to find a better beast in the future. As he initiated the taming process, a light surrounded the little turtle. A system panel revealed the turtle's stats. It was a beginner-level beast, but it contained the bloodline of a sacred black tortoise and had limitless growth potential. Its defense was decent, and it could eventually become strong enough to slay gods if properly raised. Su-bai was stunned as he reread the turtle's stats: descended from the black tortoise bloodline, capable of infinite growth, and destined to eventually slay gods. Lifting the turtle proudly, he declared he wouldn't switch it for anything. With a beast like this, he felt one step closer to real power. But just as he celebrated, his younger sister, Su-zayomai, stormed in and accused him of messing with their father's pet. She was furious that he was handling it so casually. Su-bai quickly denied doing anything wrong, while the turtle roared, demanding food. His sister scolded him, frustrated by how much their father's tortoise was eating. It had already been fed earlier that day, yet it showed no signs of stopping. Su-bai noticed the turtle's appetite was rapidly increasing and suspected it might be preparing to evolve. Excited, he volunteered to get it even more food. Half an hour later, their parents returned home in shock. The living room was in complete disarray. The chaos was caused by none other than the turtle. Now significantly larger and louder, it roared for more food, terrifying Su-bai's sister as she tried to protect her last snack. Su-bai's parents were shocked at the chaos left behind by the rampaging turtle. They couldn't believe how fast it moved and questioned if it was really their pet, Zayou-ba. The kitchen was a complete disaster: furniture overturned, food scattered. Su-bai sat down. He decided not to tell his parents that Zayou-ba had become a bottomless pit with an endless appetite. Instead, he resolved to deal with it on his own. As Zayou-ba sat contentedly and Su-bai's sister fumed. As Zayou-ba's appetite finally seemed satisfied, a powerful energy burst from its body. Su-bai watched in awe, wondering if the black tortoise bloodline was about to fully awaken. The next day, Zayou-ba's transformation vanished in an instant. Though the awakening wasn't complete, the turtle's hunger had doubled. To find a solution, Su-bai returned to the beast shop. The shop attendant greeted him, assuming he was there to purchase something. But Su-bai made it clear this time he wasn't there to buy. Instead, Su-bai leaned in and asked whether the shop accepted exotic beast blood. The older man at the shop was intrigued when Su-bai confirmed he had exotic beast blood. The shop owner instructed his assistant to step aside, taking full control of the situation himself. He invited Su-bai for a private discussion. They moved to a quieter area of the shop. The owner politely asked to inspect the blood sample first to evaluate its quality. As the man examined it, he confirmed that the blood sample was indeed exotic and of top quality. Impressed, he asked Su-bai how much he wanted for it. Su-bai proudly explained that it took a lot of effort to extract it from Xiao Ba and expected at least 100 yuan for it, confident in its value. To his shock, the shopkeeper casually offered just 1,000 yuan. Su-bai reacted strongly, clearly offended by the lowball offer, prompting the man to smirk and note that Su-bai clearly knew what he had. Laughing, the shopkeeper admitted he was only joking. With such rare quality, he confirmed the real price 10,000 yuan. Su-bai was shocked to learn that Xiao Ba's blood was worth 10,000 yuan. Overwhelmed by excitement, he could hardly believe it had such high value. The shopkeeper even raised the offer to 15,000 yuan. Internally celebrating, Su-bai struggled to hide his joy. He hadn't expected such a profitable outcome from something so simple. Playing it cool, Su-bai accepted the deal. He pretended to hesitate, claiming he wouldn't have sold it if he wasn't short on money. As he walked away, the shopkeeper called after him, saying he was welcome anytime if he had more valuable items. He reflected on his unexpected fortune. Selling Xiao Ba's exotic beast blood for 15,000 yuan meant the turtle could now sustain itself without issue. Just then, he received a call from teacher Lai. She informed him that academic results were out and instructed him to come to school that afternoon to complete his application. Su-bai tried to ask about the important news, but his phone signal dropped again. Frustrated, he wondered what message he had just missed. Suddenly, his system activated with a warning. It detected rising malice directed at Su-bai and identified multiple people harboring dangerous intent toward him and Xiao Ba. Su-bai quickly realized the warning from his system was accurate. A group of thugs had already set their sights on him, likely tipped off by his visit to the pet shop. One of the thugs approached with a spiked club, assuming Su-bai had something valuable. Without hesitation, he demanded Su-bai hand it over. Su-bai tried to talk his way out, saying he only went to sell items. But internally, he cursed his luck and braced for trouble. He noted that only one of the attackers had any real strength. As long as that person was just a primary warrior, he wasn't afraid. The thug mocked Su-bai for his apparent fear and demanded the money. Su-bai responded calmly, pretending to comply as Xiao Ba curled up in his hands. In a sudden move, Su-bai yelled and hurled Xiao Ba directly at the thug, catching him off guard. The turtle hit with unexpected force, smashing into the thug's weapon mid-swing and stunning him with the impact. The thug recoiled in shock and rage, shouting in disbelief at what just happened, clearly not expecting such power from a turtle. The other gang members rushed in, furious, yelling at Su-bai. He crouched defensively beside Xiao Ba, impressed by the turtle's tough shell. Just as two more thugs charged, Xiao Ba grabbed Su-bai's fist mid-motion, sinking their attack. With a rapid strike, Su-bai landed a powerful punch on one thug, while knocking down the second one behind him. Then, Su-bai slammed another thug to the ground using Xiao Ba's shell with full force, knocking him out instantly. The bald thug, now furious, got up from the ground, yelling that he would kill Su-bai. Reacting quickly, Su-bai commanded Xiao Ba to retreat while lifting it defensively. Without hesitation, Su-bai turned and fled down the alley with Xiao Ba in hand, leaving the enraged thug behind. The bald thug was sent flying and crashed onto the ground with a scream as Xiao Ba struck him hard once again. Su-bai stood calmly over the defeated group, stating that they brought this outcome upon themselves. As Su-bai turned to leave, he noticed Xiao Ba nibbling on something strange and glowing. Curious, Su-bai rushed over, questioning what Xiao Ba was eating, intrigued by the glowing red object it had discovered. Xiao Ba eagerly lifts the glowing orb and swallows it without hesitation. Su-bai inspects the object and realizes it's a high-grade Kai and blood potion, worth tens of thousands. Shocked, he yells at Xiao Ba, explaining that such a potion should be absorbed over a month and questions if it can handle it all at once. Suddenly, Subai is stunned as Xiaoba begins to radiate with glowing energy. Subai checks his system and sees a massive stat boost. The Kai and Blood potion has increased his strength significantly, even unlocking a new talent. Xiaoba's stats are now off the charts: 32 physique, 38 defense. It has also grown in size and gained 2 powerful defensive talents. Subai recalls that even top-tier exotic beasts rarely exceed a stat of 30. Xiaoba's strength without activation already surpasses that. He pats Xiaoba, telling him it's time to leave quickly after consuming such a valuable potion. The academic results have been released, and students are required to submit their applications immediately. There's also an important announcement. The teacher informs the class that a special admissions officer from Marshall University will visit tomorrow to conduct an ability test. As usual, only 2 guaranteed spots are available. Lin Yanren asks Subai if he has made up his mind about applying to the Humanities Institute or Marshall University. Subai thinks to himself that he must get into Marshall University no matter what. Frustrated, she reminds him that she told him to apply to the Humanities Institute with her. She warns that Marshall University sends students to the battlefield, which is extremely dangerous. Subai reflects on how someone must go to the front lines. Despite his grades, he considers it a good thing and seems determined. With a confident smile, he tells Lin Yanren he's going to the battlefield to protect someone important. She silently wonders if that person might be her. A teacher asks Lin Yanren which university she will apply to. She pauses, thinking, while Subai guesses that since she hasn't awakened her ability or trained her body, she'll likely choose the Humanities Institute. Lin Yanren replies that she hasn't decided yet and needs more time to think. The teacher announces that this decision is important for everyone and instructs the students to take their report cards home and discuss their applications with their parents. School ends, and Subai responds to the teacher, confirming he understands the assignment deadline. Later, Lin Yanren relaxes in a bath infused with Kai and Blood supplements. She calls Subai. Smiling on the phone, Lin Yanren reveals she has also decided to go to Marshall University and hints she'll surprise him. Subai is questioned about applying to Marshall University. Subai tells his pet turtle that he has important matters to handle. The turtle is seen munching loudly in the background. At a school event, students gather as the host announces the arrival of instructor Zhang Kai, a military martial arts trainer. As the military instructor walks onto the stage, the teacher announces that he's both the principal and a respected senior. He begins listing past enrollment stats. 1 year ago, 126 students joined, only 65 remain. 2 years ago, 98 enrolled, just 32 are alive. He continues, revealing that out of 86 students who joined 3 years ago, only 11 survived. He stresses that survival here is not a reason for pride, but a burden of duty. The principal warns the students about the challenges ahead. He declares the core values of their path: duty, responsibility, and protecting their country. The atmosphere is charged with excitement as the instructor asks if the students want to be among the strong at Wuda. While the students are still buzzing with enthusiasm, Subai is suddenly called out by name. The principal personally approaches Subai, confirming his identity. Once Subai responds, the principal informs him that a spot has already been reserved for him at Wuda, urging him to prepare for the entrance exam. Shocked, Subai reacts in disbelief at being specially selected. He's then told a vehicle is already waiting to take him to the exam location. Some students react with disbelief and jealousy upon learning that a space was specially reserved for Subai. One girl mutters that she wishes she were in his place. The bus finally arrives at Wuda University. The students are instructed to disembark, and the towering campus. As the students walk through the entrance with their luggage, Subai looks around in awe, finally grasping the scale of the prestigious academy. One of the students points out a massive stone pillar engraved with bold text. It's revealed to be the school's motto, and Subai silently admires the strength it represents. The students are guided across the campus as their instructor leads them to collect their uniforms before heading to the dormitories. The instructor explains that the male dorms are nearby and advises them to rest and change into their uniforms. She also mentions that the exam schedule will be announced soon. Subai thanks her politely. Su-bai arrives at his assigned room number 303. He stands at the door with his luggage. Meanwhile, inside another room, a student proudly shares how his father acquired rare monster blood, which was turned into high-grade medicine. His roommates are amazed, acknowledging how uncommon and valuable such a resource is. Su-bai arrives at the dorm room holding his suitcase, introducing himself with a smile. He confirms he's also assigned to dormitory 303. The student welcomes him, confirming that now everyone has arrived. He introduces himself as Han Jiagang. Two more roommates introduce themselves, Tao Jiajin and Fan Kaon. They greet Su-bai warmly, and Fan adds a cheerful "nice to meet you." Tao encourages Su-bai to relax since they're all dormmates. He points to the glowing potion, explaining it was sent by Han Jiagang's father. It's extremely rare monster blood, so rare that people had to be sent across the country to acquire it. Su-bai overhears Han Jiagang's story about the monster blood and realizes it might have been something he once sold. Shocked, he wonders if he unknowingly parted with something so valuable. Han casually claims each drop only cost around 30,000, implying it was no big deal. Su-bai, realizing the price he got was far less than what it was actually worth. Enraged, Su-bai silently curses the middleman who profited off him, realizing they sold it for more than triple what they gave him. Before Su-bai can dwell further, his roommates excitedly call him to the window. They spot a stunning girl downstairs and immediately declare her the winner of the school's beauty contest. The boys in the dorm are mesmerized by a stunning girl approaching the men's dormitory. One of them even calls her a goddess. They gather by the window, amazed by her looks. While they admire her beauty, they also wonder what could have brought her to this part of campus. Lin Yanren confidently walks through the courtyard and asks a staff member for Su-bai. The staff member begins shouting up toward the dorms, announcing that a beautiful girl is here to meet Su-bai. Su-bai's roommates are shocked when they hear that Lin Yanren Beauty is asking for him. They watch in disbelief as Su-bai casually leaves to meet her. From the window, the trio stares in confusion, trying to make sense of why someone so admired would be looking for Su-bai. They begin to suspect there's more to him than meets the eye. Outside, Su-bai greets Lin Yanren in his new uniform. She compliments his appearance, saying it suits him well. Lin Yanren gets closer, placing her hand on Su-bai's chest, telling him he looks even more handsome now. Flustered, Su-bai struggles to respond. Su-bai's roommates are losing their minds watching from the window as Lin Yanren fixes his uniform. Jealous, they can't believe how close she's getting to him. Lin Yanren nervously brings up the reserved space and asks if Su-bai is upset. He calmly replies that he's not, though he originally intended to take the exam himself. Su-bai smiles and thanks her. He acknowledges that she acted for his benefit and gently places a hand on her head, making her blush. Lin Yanren informs Su-bai that the exam is coming up and she's prepared pills to help him. Su-bai, however, refuses politely, saying she's already done enough for him and should save them for herself. Lin Yanren waves goodbye to Su-bai, promising to see him tomorrow. The student's stunned that Su-bai had such close interaction with her. Some speculate he might be a rival in the battle for her heart. Back in the dorm room, Su-bai returns to a warm welcome. His roommates call him Brother Su and offer him a seat, impressed by his connection to Lin Yanren. Su-bai, a bit confused by the sudden attention, tries to play it down, saying they were just high school classmates. His roommates continue hyping him up, referring to Lin Yanren as a goddess and praising Su-bai for being too humble. Han Jiagang puts his arm around Su-bai and suggests that, as dormmates, Su-bai should ask Lin Yanren to introduce her beautiful friends. Su-bai is caught off guard and doesn't know how to respond. Han offers to treat Su-bai to a nice meal so they can bond properly as new roommates. The other dormmates cheerfully agree and head out, telling Su-bai to rest while they handle things. Su-bai hesitates but lets them go. Left alone, Su-bai opens his bag to check on his pet turtle. He smiles and says the others are quite an interesting bunch and suggests the turtle come out for some fresh air. Su-bai checks the gift Lin Yanren gave him and discovers it's a blood essence potion. He smiles, thinking it'll be perfect for his little Ba. Holding up the potion with a mischievous grin, Su-bai teases little Ba and asks if it knows what to do after consuming it. That evening, the group heads to a luxurious hotel. One of the roommates questions if it's too fancy. But Han Jiagang tells Su-bai to relax and leave everything to his brothers. Inside the hotel room, the boys enjoy a celebratory dinner. Han raises a toast to his dormmates, especially Su-bai, calling him an amazing person. The others join in happily, telling Su-bai to feel at home among friends. At dinner, Su-bai tells his roommates he was high school classmates with Lin Yanran and might be able to introduce her friends later. He then turns to Jiagang and says he might need his help. Su-bai reveals a vial of rare monster blood and asks Jiagang to assist with it. The others are shocked by its appearance, but Su-bai downplays it, saying it's not a big deal. Upon inspecting the vial, Jiagang's friends are stunned by its high quality. They admit it surpasses even Jiagang's rare supply, leaving them deeply impressed. Jiagang is equally amazed and immediately offers to contact his father to send someone for proper handling. Su-bai calmly suggests they eat first. Han Jiagang's father scolds him over the phone for wasting money again. Jiagang insists it's serious this time. He needs help with a rare opportunity, not money. Jiagang explains that his classmate has 7 drops of high-quality monster blood and wants to sell it. He emphasizes it's even better than the previous batch his father bought. His father is shocked but intrigued. After confirming the quality, he tells Jiagang to send the location immediately and promises to dispatch Master Cow to inspect it. An hour later, Master Cow inspects the blood and is stunned by its quality. He praises it as simply exquisite. Master Cow analyzes the monster blood and praises it as the purest he's ever encountered. Its energy content astonishes him, and he eagerly declares the endless possibilities it offers. Jiagang's father expresses doubt, suggesting Master Cow might be exaggerating. But Master Cow insists that even with top-tier equipment, the blood's value would only increase. The group is stunned, especially Jiagang, who praises Su-bai's incredible luck and resources. Su-bai stays calm, sipping his drink while they marvel at his monster blood. Jiagang's father directly asks Su-bai for the price. Su-bai responds that his friend instructed the blood not be sold for money, but only exchanged for an equivalent value in blood essence. Jiagang's father offers Su-bai a generous exchange: 14 bottles of blood essence for all the monster blood. Su-bai gratefully agrees, thanking him respectfully. Impressed by Su-bai's potential, Jiagang's father extends an even bigger offer: to join the Han family, promising unlimited resources and support. Su-bai politely declines the offer, saying he has no intention of joining any family at the moment. Suddenly, Lin Yanran bursts into the room, making a bold declaration no one has the right to force Su-bai into joining any family. She steps forward, locking eyes with the others, and demands they understand her clearly. Everyone in the room is stunned by her sudden entrance. Su-bai is surprised, while the others whisper in awe, realizing that the famous goddess Yanran has appeared. Jiagang's father grits his teeth in frustration, calling her that brat. Han Jiagang's father is shocked upon realizing who Lin Yanran truly is. He nervously explains it was all a misunderstanding. He reassures everyone that Su-bai is merely his son's classmate and a good friend. Lin Yanran invites Su-bai to return to campus with her. Su-bai, having just finished his business, agrees with a smile. As they leave together, Su-bai bids farewell to Uncle Han and Jiagang. Han responds courteously, while Jiagang watches Su-bai leave with awe and respect. As Su-bai and Lin Yanran leave, Jiagang tries to follow, calling her goddess. His father scolds him harshly, telling him to get back and stop embarrassing himself. Pulling Jiagang aside, his father warns him seriously. He urges Jiagang to maintain a good relationship with Su-bai, hinting that the Han family's future may depend on it. At the same time, he warns Jiagang to keep a respectful distance from Lin Yanran. Confused, Jiagang asks his father if Su-bai and Lin Yanran are really that impressive. He admits he hadn't noticed anything unusual about them before. 2 days later, at the military training field of Marshall University, all freshmen gather. An announcement is made. The students will undergo special training over the next few days. The students are shocked to learn that their training will take place on the battlefield of all races. Some panic at the danger, fearing the risk to their lives. The instructor explains that each student will be placed into a class of 50, led by a bronze-level instructor who will guide them through the training. He assures them the battlefield has been cleared and their safety guaranteed. Su-bai finds out he's in the same class as Lin Yanren. Excited whispers erupt around them, with other boys thrilled to be in her class. Su-bai teases her, wondering if she arranged this on purpose. Their instructor, an elegant red-haired woman, steps forward and firmly calls Class 8 to assemble. The woman introduces herself to the new trainees. She's the instructor in charge of delivering all their special training tasks. While some students admire her appearance, others grow uneasy, unsure of what kind of training awaits. She announces the first task, catching everyone off guard. The students react with shock and disbelief. Some begin to question the seriousness of the training. Instructor Yuxin informs the class they have until the next morning to write their wills and gather at the teleport plaza by 8 a.m. for departure to the battlefield of all races. The students begin to panic, questioning the risk. Lin Yanren checks in with Su-bai about his plans. He replies calmly that he doesn't have much to prepare and will return to the dormitory early. As students disperse, Yanren and Su-bai part ways. Jiagang and others express their urgency, feeling unprepared for what's coming. Later that day, Jiagang invites Su-bai to join him and the group for a night out before their mission. He suggests they make the most of the evening while they can. Su-bai declines the invitation to go out with the others, saying he has things to do. Jiagang and the others understand and tell him to call if he needs anything. Jiagang comments on Su-bai's pet turtle, impressed by its toughness. Su-bai introduces it as Little 8, a turtle with a huge appetite. The dormmates say goodbye to Su-bai as they head out. Su-bai wishes them a good time and continues working at his desk. After they leave, Su-bai feeds Little 8 several potions, telling it to enjoy the treat now but perform well on the battlefield later. Su-bai tells his turtle to eat slowly as it devours the potions excitedly, clearly eager for more. A system notification announces that the turtle has leveled up to a high-rank ordinary exotic beast. Su-bai also levels up, and the turtle gains a new talent, Heavy Strike. The turtle's new stats and talents are displayed. It now has 3 abilities: Turtle Shell Defense, Turtle Skin Defense, and Heavy Strike, each enhancing its survivability and damage in battle. Su-bai's profile shows that as a beast tamer, he benefits from the turtle's improvements. The turtle glows with energy, indicating its boosted power after absorbing the potions. Su-bai checks the turtle's upgraded stats and is amazed by the boost. Fired up, he cheers with Little 8, declaring it's time to head into battle. All trainees report to the chief instructor. Everyone is fully equipped and ready for the mission. With the instructors awaiting commands, the teleportation sequence is ordered to begin. Soldiers stand at attention. The teleport gate activates with a bright glow. Students head toward it, awestruck by its scale, clearly impressed that only Martial University possesses such advanced tech. Lin Yanren tells Su-bai to stay alert once they're on the battlefield. Su-bai assures her they'll complete the mission safely. As the team gathers on the teleport platform, the instructor instructs everyone to relax. Su-bai responds with confidence, ready to go. The group is instantly transported. The intense sensation surprises them, and they land in a massive, high-tech military base. The students realize they've arrived at the battlefield of all races. One of them is in awe, laughing and calling it epic. The group is scolded to be quiet after arriving. Instructor Liao apologizes to the deputy lieutenant, explaining they're just inexperienced rookies. The stern deputy lieutenant introduces himself and warns them that rank doesn't matter here, everyone must follow his orders. He asks for confirmation. The entire team stands at attention and agrees to follow orders. Su-bai calmly observes the man's scar, understanding he's a seasoned soldier. Meanwhile, Han Jiagang brushes it off, unimpressed by the deputy's rank. The deputy lieutenant assigns the rookies their first task, clearing the battlefield. They're told to eliminate remaining phantom cats, a suitable mission to gain real combat experience. He explains that each phantom cat defeated earns military merit points. These points can be exchanged at the logistics department for vitality potions and body tempering elixirs. Excited by the reward system, the rookies eagerly react. One comments how this system explains why so many take the risk to join the battlefield. Amused by their enthusiasm, the deputy lieutenant smirks and orders everyone to move out immediately.